Good morning and welcome to Jackie's Garden Spot. If you are returning, welcome y'all. If you are a new member, then I do welcome you in. I am Jackie in Alabama, growing in Zone 8B. On today, we will do a complete garden tour. As you can hear, the weather in the background, it's windy here, very windy here. So I'm going to do my best to give you a complete garden tour because tonight is supposed to turn very cold here for us. So a lot of things that you will see in the garden, they won't last. And I want to take you on this tour to show you everything that's going on in the garden. Come on, y'all, let's get started. Okay, these are the sweet peas that we planted in for the fall. They're coming along fine. And of course, you do remember us planting in the garlic in this spot here. Some of the leaves have come up with the weather, and as you can see, they are peeping through. I have to recover those. And some more peas. And of course, the Egyptian walking onion. And it looks like some new onions coming through. The Egyptian walking onion received their name because they will grow up to a certain length. They will then begin to get a little bulb on them, and they'll fall down because the bulb makes them heavy. And then they will reseed themselves and they will spread on throughout the garden. So that is hence the name Egyptian walking onion. Of course, if you remember, about 3 weeks or so ago, we were looking at planting in some starts, and these are the starts and how they are progressing in the garden here. Of course, those are some tree collards, and as you can see, this one is going through a little bit of bug pressure. I have to treat that. This is another tree collard, and those are the mustard greens that I trimmed off a few weeks ago, and they are coming back nicely. And then, guys, I got a surprise. This is called a karabi. The karabi is another type of vegetable that's new to me that I'm growing. A lot of them didn't come up, but that one did come back up here. And so I'm interested in trying it and tasting it. I got interested in growing this particular karabi plant from Asia at the, I think her name is the Yellow Doe Herba Gardener on YouTube. So give her a look at. She grows a lot of vegetables that are unique. So I'm interested in trying that. That's from her interest. Okay. And so these are other karabis that I've planted in from starts to see how they'll do. Hopefully they'll do wonderful. I probably won't get to eat any until the spring at this rate here because they're so tiny right now. And then moving on, that is butter crunch lettuce. It's ready to be harvested, of course. And then those are what we call yellow onion. They are growing. They'll be ready in the spring as well. So they're coming along fine. Again, some more mustards. And those are the red mustards that we trimmed off, and they're coming back. I told you that as you trim these, they will regenerate. But as it gets colder, the mustards won't last long. However, the collards will continue to grow. The collards can withstand the cold. The cabbage can withstand the cold, and the broccoli can withstand the cold, but the mustards we will not be able to keep throughout the winter months. So then we have some more cabbage that we planted out that's growing. And then remember, we trimmed the cabbages a few weeks ago, and I was trying to get a bigger head. Of course, you can see that head is forming. I'm glad about it, but it is forming. So it's doing wonderful. Okay, and then moving along to the broccoli. It's not forming a head yet. Something's coming in there, but well, it's growing, but I'm looking for a head to start forming to get very excited about the broccoli, but it's growing along beautifully. That's some more broccoli, and mustards. So this is out in what, of course, we looked at this side of the greenhouse last week. And of course, that is the Swiss chard. It's a very beautiful color. And it's growing, growing, growing. And these are the carrots. It looks like some are trying to come in, if you can see there. The radishes are coming along. That's some more lettuce. And guys, remember, I told you something was going in this spot. Look how the garlic is coming up. The strawberries are still nestled in and they're coming along beautifully, but I don't expect these to stay here because of the coldness. So they will come back in the spring, but in the winter they will die out, but they will come back. The comfrey is still holding on. It will die out and it will come back, of course. That is some more walking onion. And we viewed the oranges the other week. Of course, they're ready now. So we will be harvesting those, and I'll let you know how those tasted. The lemons are just about ready. Not quite. I still see a little green there. So they're not quite ready. They're getting there. Prop that back up. But they're getting there. And then we have the Miwa kumquats. Some of them are ready, guys. They are ready to be harvested. They're coming along beautifully. Moving on. It's quite windy out here today, guys, but of course I had to show you the progress of the banana tree. As you can see, it has new leaves that are trying to come out here. However, I will have to cut it back as it gets colder because it will die out and hopefully come back again next year. And as I was telling you about the other day, the potato vine that's trying to come back out again, and I'll probably get some slips from it to allow those to grow back for the spring. Of course, you remember the bigger grow box, and look at the pretty red lettuce. It's coming along beautifully. And the onions, of course, and the succession onion, more lettuce. And of course, the radishes are doing a little something here. They're trying to peep up. I'll have to keep them watered. Okay, moving on. This, guys, is what I called my mixed flower and herb garden bed here. It's not that big of a flower bed, but it's big enough. And of course, you see I have a lot of different flowers. Some are edible, some are not edible. And of course, I do have some herbs mixed around in here. This is mullein. Mullein is a type of herb that is said to be used to clear out your lungs. So you can make an herb tea or a mullein tea with this particular herb. Of course, you can see that it's going through some bug pressure. I have to treat it as well. But mullein, it's called mullein. And then we have some nasturtiums. Nasturtiums are edible. You can eat the leaves, and they bloom a pretty flower that you can eat as well. So we have different types. There are marigolds in here. There's echinacea in here. The purple ballerina flower is in here. So we have a lot of different flowers in here. And again, some edible and some are not edible. So that is the flower bed, or what's called the raised bed flower garden here. Okay. And then we have a flower pot that we put a lot of different flowers in. And as you can see, I have my little frog there. I love frogs. And moving on. And this is the last garden. This is a rose garden, guys. We have miniature roses in here. And we have what's called a generational rose here. This is the generational rose, guys. And this rose has been in the family for 7 generations. It was passed along to me from my late mother-in-law. And so, as you can tell, the pressure is on me to keep it alive and pass it on throughout the generations. This is called, she called it a 6 sisters rose because of the 6 heads of roses, clusters of roses that form on the heads. Okay? And guys, hopefully you can see all of the beautiful roses. Hopefully you learned something new today, or you saw something new that would motivate you to start your own garden spot here. So if so, then please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to see more content from me. And thanks for watching.